out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
And we're here. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Folks, it is Free for All Friday, and it's time to get it on. Get your questions in. Get them down below. We're going to do a little me, a little you. We're going to bam, 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 go back and forth. That's what Friday is all about. Free for All Friday. I tell you, folks, what a week. Unbelievable. Now, for Free for All Friday, you can talk about anything you want. It's kind of like the zoo, but it's just for you, right? If you're on the preparedmind.club or subscribestar.com, Free for All Friday is for you guys to call in, write in, talk in, whatever you do. Send it in my carrier pigeon. I don't give a shit. And you can talk about the week past, where we're at today, or what you think's coming. And, of course, we will be here for Sunday Night Live, which is 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. But now it's time for the free-for-all. What the hell is going on, folks? Senatorial candidate John Fetterman. He looks like, Uncle Fester was not like the nicest looking guy on TV, right? He's playing a half-dead zombie uncle, right? Uncle Fester. Well, John Fetterman makes him look tame and normal. And this is a Democrat, senatorial candidate from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman. I mean, this guy has a stroke. I'm sorry you had a stroke, dude. He can't talk. He can't think. His wife is out there running around in front of him trying to defend him. Looks a little like Jill Biden when she does that, you know. This idiot, right, is all about letting criminals out of jail. And now he has this to say. Are you ready? He said murderers, right, in prison, murderers doing hard time are, quote, like your grandfather. In what world does that make sense? To make any sense, in what world does that make sense? That a murderer in prison is like granddad, like dear old granddad. Are you kidding me? That's how sick and twisted and demented Democrats are. It's not a joke, folks. I don't have to make this shit up anymore. Right? I remember 20, 30 years ago, we have to go, you just wait. You see where these fuckers are taking us, you know. They're going to be saying we should let murderers out of prison because they're like our grandfather. And people would be like, oh, man, that's a crock of shit. No one's that stupid. Oh, no, they're that stupid, folks. 5 years ago, right? Oh, yeah, men can get pregnant and be like, that's it. Take that person, lock them up. They're crazy as fuck. These people are sick and twisted, folks. And here's the deal is they're not just your idiot neighbor down the street or the demented relative you might have. They're not in some third world country with some strange fucking religion. These people are here in America, and they've been elected to positions of power, and they're out of their fucking minds. Murderers are like your grandfather, not mine. No. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. Okay, Jolene, I hope you got your seatbelt on. Ooman, are you ready? We're getting into it big, big time. Now, the idiocy, it has to end. And it is Friday free for all. We're getting close to Halloween. Friday, right? Anyways, the rejection of this retarded shit is continuing. Now, if you recall, just last night we talked about AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and some lady in the audience at her town hall meeting stood up and screamed at her, there are only two fucking genders. People have had enough of this shit. I've had enough of this shit. And in this case, for this story we're going to talk about, folks, the state of Missouri is another state that is joining the move to tell woke political agenda having corporations to fuck themselves. I've had it. I really have. The F word needs to come out more for these people. Fuck you, BlackRock. Fuck you to critical race theory, woke crap, LGB agenda, all of it. Done. Missouri steps up and says, we are now joining this move and we're removing $500 million out of the BlackRock retirement system, right? Using them as an investment fund. They don't want ESG. They don't want woke political agenda in their finances. They want their investment to pay the people in the state of Missouri who have a retirement. They want them to get their money and then some, right? An investment, not investing in someone's stupid political idea that we need to have diversity regardless and irrespective of destruction of the company and the resources. Yeah, how about the idea is you make money with that. Not you pour it down a toilet and go, boy, I sure feel good about that. Yeah, I'm glad we destroyed ourselves by investing in ESG corporations, which don't make money. But always remember this, folks. Before we get to your question coming up right here, always remember this. Money doesn't disappear. It doesn't go poof off the planet. Money is transferred from one owner to the next. From one owner to the next. If your retirement account goes down, someone else's went up, right? There's nothing gets destroyed. It gets transferred. Now, a house can be burnt and destroyed. A nation can be, sent into ruination. But the wealth, right? Now, the value of money can go down, but the dollars themselves get traded. And it's funny how in the world of Wall Street, if you've got money there, you can put money in that nice little box, your little account. And in Wall Street, someone can come right around and steal that money out of your account and say, yeah, the value of your stock went down. Sorry about that. And you're like, that's how that works. I put money there. It goes up for a little while. And then pow, it just disappears. And it's gone. That's why I love physical silver, physical gold, physical lead, copper, brass, and cold blue steel. I love physical food and physical water. I like things that are physical because you own them. You have them in your hands. You control them. Wall Street, folks, it's a gamble. If you're willing to gamble there, you have to be willing to take that loss. But grandma and grandpa, not the murderous grandpa, fucking Democrats, not the murderous grandpa. Yeah, it's like my granddad over there. Yeah, well, your granddad was a murderer, huh, Fetterman? Fucking jerk off, right? Grandma and grandpa's retirement money, they're not trying to gamble. They're not trying to get rich. They're just trying to keep money somewhere that it grows at least as fast as the inflation grows. And folks, we are all losing that game right now. All right, let's do this. Let's get to some of your questions. Let's see what you want to talk about. Don't be shy. No, not at all. Don't say that's a stupid question or John answered it last year, whatever, right? Don't be afraid. Get your questions in. Okay, Jolene, what do we got? This is from Reagan. He says, hey, John. Oh, shit. For us Pennsylvanians, when you speak of Fetterman, consider referring to him as Fetterman Fat Lenin to better make the point to those who don't get it yet. Semper Fi, bro. I'll tell you what, brother. Fetterman, Fat Lenin. In other words, folks, Vladimir Lenin was around at the beginning of the Soviet Union. That's right, folks, the Soviets, the Bolsheviks, the communists. What did they do? Well, they took over a country. They murdered the Tsar and his family. Yeah, rich or not, and whatever. They murdered people and took control of the country. And Lenin, communist, he said, everybody, we're the government and we now own all your stuff. Your stuff is now our stuff. Fetterman, folks, as Reagan was saying, is let's liken him to a communist instead of Fetterman, Fat Lenin. Get the picture? These people are about taking yours and redistributing it to everyone else, well, after they take their cut. That's right, folks. The Democrats always take their cut. Kind of like the big guy takes his 10% cut. Let's see, if they've sent $100 billion to Ukraine in the form of cash, weapons, cash, bombs, rockets, missiles, and more cash, does Biden get 10% of the gross, or does Biden and his cartel get 10% of the cash donations? And then out of all that cash that goes over there, what percent does Nancy Pants get? What percent does Kittens Mittens Romney get? What percent does Garlic Man Merrick get? What percent does Lighten the Loafers Lindsey Graham get? What percent do they get? Do they get a flat fee for sending money over there? Do they have a flat fee for voting for shit that does America no good? No good at all. I mean, I keep hearing, folks, there's going to be a huge landslide for the Republicans coming up in 3 weeks. I'll tell you what, I want to see it. If you think for a second I'm going to go, yeah, Republicans got this, man. I ain't voting. I'm going to be there voting just once, because I believe that my vote is only the same as others. But Democrats, folks, of course, believe some voters are more equal than others. In fact, I think I saw a news story that someone's pet got a mail-in ballot, their dog. And what makes it worse, I think, is the dog is passed away. It's deceased. It no longer is here. So not only do dead Democrats vote, but dead Democrat dogs also have a chance to vote. Unbelievable what is going on. I mean, did I get that wrong? Did I grossly exaggerate? I know this is satire, but where does the comedy end and reality begin? That's the question, right? Where does it begin? The reality. It seems like this entire huge area full of satire and humor has just collapsed. And everything out there now, folks, all the stupidity, all the craziness is what's happening with these idiot Democrats and socialists and communists and, oh yes, the fascists. Now, once again, for people who don't know, fascists don't just wear a swastika. Fascists are not limited to Germany. It's not limited to World War II. Fascism has been in Europe and the United States of America since the 1840s, if not even earlier. Fascism is the union between big business and government, and that's all there is to it. When government benefits business and business benefits government and they mutually benefit themselves, that's what fascism is. So you got this equation, business and government. Well, where does that leave me and you? Where's the people in that equation? Therein lies the problem. The other problem with fascism is it relies on socialism, that is the authoritarian state, to exist. Because how is it that a government can ignore the sovereign people in fascism unless the government is all-powerful? That is to say, authoritarian. Now, we've got this little tidbit that just popped up today. It's not so authoritarian as stupiditarian. And I really like the terminology I created yesterday to describe the environmentalist wacko lunatics, right? The greentologists. I thought that was good. I kind of took that, from the Green Party and Scientology and kind of merged them together into greentologists. Because it's kind of like a religion, except, whatever. But let's get off that subject. Let's do this. Let's head to Iran. Guess what Iran is claiming today? Guess what the military of Iran is bragging about? They're saying they seized not one, but two, count them, 1, 2, United States military sea drones. They got them off the coast of Yemen. Now, you might be saying, hey, this is kind of killing me. That's deja vu. Deja vu. I think I've heard this story before. Deja vu. Again? Really? Doubt me not? And what me worry, I guess. Unbelievable, folks. Iran claims that they've seized 2 more drones. The duplicate, the deja vu, years ago, under the Obama administration, Biden, Obama, Biden, Obama, Biden, Obama. During the Obama administration, Iran hacked into a $200 million plus surveillance, super duper secret drone. That's a lot of fucking money for an airline jet that doesn't carry any people, right? It's a drone. They hacked into it, took control of it, and landed it. So is it surprising, folks, that Iran hacked into, got control of, and captured underwater drones? Wow. Now, after Iran caught the aerial drones years ago, guess what they started doing? They took it to their labs. They took lots of pictures of it. They took it apart. They found out what makes it tick, and they duplicated it, folks. And then they borrowed bits of that technology for their other military hardware. So, will Iran duplicate the sea drones? You bet your ass they're going to duplicate it. What are they going to do with it? Imagine having a sea drone that you control that is partially autonomous, maybe fully autonomous sea drone. Put some sonar equipment into it. And what does it do? It can go to the bottom of the ocean or the sea. And maybe it's programmed to wait for a specific particular tone. Maybe the tone of a U.S. destroyer. Maybe the tone of a U.S. aircraft carrier. Anyone? Maybe a U.S. submarine. And then it just wakes up, floats up, taps it, and boom, kaboom. Underwater smart bombs. I mean, what's the point of having a drone? Well, maybe they go in shallower water. Maybe they go in shallower water than manned submarines. They're smaller. But certainly, folks, I don't think that they couldn't carry a payload like a torpedo could. That's right. Imagine having a mobile underwater bomb. Are they going to sell it to Turkey, China, Russia? How about North Korea? Folks, this is incredible. If we're not giving away military bases and hardware like Biden did in Afghanistan, the Democrats, the military, they're just more than happy to lose other military hardware. You and I pay taxes, folks. And it goes into paying for the development of these super high-tech military weapons and support systems. And then our government just manages to lose it and give it right to the enemy. And it doesn't cost them any time, any money. Well, except the time it takes to take them apart and go, hey, look at that gizmo. We can make that. And we can make our gizmo do what it does, but we're not going to have to spend the billions of dollars developing it. Thank you, Uncle Biden. Unfucking believable. Yeah, deja vu. All right, folks, let's see what you want to talk about. Jolene, what do we have rolling across our screen now? We've got a question from Mikey G. Laura Logan was fired from Newsmax for a rant exposing the evil truth of the elites. the elites, saying, quote, they dine on the blood of children. Pedos rule the world. Thoughts? I'll tell you what, folks. This is continuing to be a bothersome topic for many. You see, sometimes when I talk about evil, people, they go, oh, here we go. Here goes the religious stuff. Now, here's the deal. It's not me. I'm not overly religious, especially on this secular profit-prepping show. It's not about religion for me and you. It's about us observing them. Now, I'm going to step back and say, remember 9/11? The people that the ones in charge, claimed took over the planes and flew them into our buildings, they did that because it was their religious fervor, we are told. Osama bin Laden's suicide bitches did so, took those actions, killed thousands of Americans because of their religious beliefs. That religious belief caused them to kill, sacrifice many others, and destroy, kill and destroy. That's what happens in war. That's what the adversary of all that is good, gut, God, all that is good gets destroyed by our adversary, evil. Okay, good and evil. We don't have to get overly religious on this, folks, but just understand what it is that these people want. Whether we're talking about Osama bin Laden's bitches, or whether we're talking about the evil that is used in this world, the evil people, right? The World Economic Forum, folks, the shit they're pulling this week. It makes me sick. These people are evil. So when they say, you know what? They drink the blood of children. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that just might be true. I mean, are you aware that Queen Elizabeth and her husband went and visited a bunch of First Nations, that is to say, Native Canadian Americans, a long time ago, folks, long time ago. Remember, that woman was over 100 years old, the Queen Mother. Right? Anyways, a bunch of children disappeared, literally off the face of the planet, while visiting the Queen. Now, it's been surmised, there's been guessed, it's been wildly speculated, right? And I don't know really what happened. I don't know if these rich people really drink the blood of children. I don't know if the elites really do that. But just a few years ago, did we or did we not have a bunch of Hollywood elites and a bunch of political elites having a party in Los Angeles where pictures were released of there just being vats of libations, drinks that looked like blood, and that people were hired to put their heads on a platter, on a table, so only their head was sticking up. And they ate symbolic flesh of humans. Cannibalism, drinking blood. The celebrities there weren't crazy, incredible crazy. And then I think her name was Maria Abramovic, right? The so-called 70-plus-year-old witch who does her blood rituals that Hillary was a part of and John Podesta was a part of, and many, many other notable, famous, powerful people were part of. Abramovic, right? She's got a book where she's holding the horns of a goat, right? And the skull is all nasty. These people are evil. They're not hiding it. So for us to point it out, why does that make us crazy? Because it sounds crazy? Because when we think about that, we try and we go, could I ever do that? No, I couldn't do that. I cannot imagine myself in that position doing what they do. That's why it's the human mind just shuts down and says, no, I don't even want to hear it. I can't even consider it. I don't even want to think about it. It's kind of like a jurist, a juror, right? They're sitting in the jury and they're having to hear about murders committed by someone like Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Who eats people. And they're like, I can't believe I'm hearing this. I can't believe the evidence that's being presented. Yet as a juror, you have to consider the evidence as real. Folks, as a human being, we have to consider the evidence that comes before us. And we can decide to accept it or reject it, to give it great weight or, well, it's there, but not so much. It's up to you. It's up to you. But I'm going to challenge you this way. I'm going to say, look around. Look out in the world at what is going on and decide for yourself. Is this world going to hell in a handbasket, or is it great? Is it great? I mean, get this. The CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, and there's a lot of nasty names for them, folks, right? The CDC has unanimously passed putting cerveza bug Jim Jones juice in children's vaccines. What do we know about that stuff? What have we learned about the Jim Jones juice? Right? Have we gotten enough clues? I think we have. Yet these people, these sick elite people, do what? They want to make it an everyday thing. They want to make sure your children get jabbed with their poison. Are they evil or are they good? What good does it do, folks? What good does it do to give you a vaccination that doesn't vaccinate? It's not a vaccination. It doesn't stop transmission. It doesn't reduce your susceptibility. The Jim Jones juice, folks, doesn't do jack shit except make people sick, weaken their immune systems, change their DNA, and ultimately, in many cases, make them sick, hospitalize them, and kill them. So get this, folks. Republican governors are now promising not to mandate the Jim Jones juice for children. And I thought, why are we here in this room now? In Studio B, why are we here now? Going, should we let the government mandate this stuff for our children? Should we let the government mandate it for us as adults? The answer should always be to the government when they tell you you must do something. The answer should always be, go fuck yourselves. We know what this stuff does. It doesn't help. And in many cases, it hurts. So why? GOP governors, good on you for saying you're going to not mandate it. It should never be considered that you will mandate jack shit. In fact, folks, vaccines for children aren't mandated. Well, unless you want to go to public school. But you're allowed to sign a waiver. Even in the state of California, when I was there, you could sign a waiver and say, my kids, me, we, us, they're not taking that shit. And this is just regular vaccines, folks. And then we have this one that's not even a vaccine. Doesn't do jack shit except make people sick and kill them. There's evil in the world, folks. You can either see it or you can shut your eyes. But I want people to open their eyes and start looking and go, evil is a real thing in this world. And we are engaged in the war, folks, like it or not. Right? The people in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, they thought, well, the military could come here. But are we really in the war? Well, when that nuclear bomb went off in Hiroshima, it answered that question in a millisecond. Same with Nagasaki. In a millisecond, those people realized they were in the war, shit hit the fan, and then they were dead. Just like that. 1, 2, 3, bam, done. We are engaged in a war right now. You and I, all of America, all of the world. We're engaged in a war, folks. This is a war for our lives, a war for our spirits, a war for our freedom. You damn right, government. Republican governors, you will not mandate jack shit. It's fucking incredible to me. I mean, I ponder this. It's fucking ponderous. They sit in a chair on their big, fat fat asses. And they go, I'm so powerful that I can tell people to do shit that hurts them. And they just love that shit. Like Gretchen the Grinch Whitmore in Michigan. Oh, the people don't want to do as I say. Well, I'm going to punish them. Talk about your fucking out of control megalomaniac. Mommy dearest bitch thinking she can control us. Are you going to have it? Or are you going to tell them no? And fucking mean it. Now, on top of all that, you had best be prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. I recommend that you get engaged in this fight. And I know a lot of you do it by supporting us, and you are premium members here on the preparedmind.club and subscribestar.com. Because of that, yeah, you are engaged in it more than the average ding-dong. When you call, write, text your congressman, your senator, your governor, your state officials, your local officials, you are engaging in an effort to free yourself and your family and the rest of the country. Don't think of it as, well, you know, I just went and voted. No, your vote is part of the war for freedom. Period. Period. I tell you, folks, there's so much to talk about on this free-for-all. Unbelievable. This little bastard here, this little rooster booster, the booster rooster, little Dr. Dipshit, right? I mean, just take a look. Take a look at this lineup. Do you remember which one of these guys tried to force you to get the Jim Jones juice? Guess what? It was all of them. It doesn't matter what the politician looks like. It is Dr. Fauci's face behind the scenes. He tries claiming, I had nothing to do with it. You have everything to do with it. And anyone involved with forcing other people to take that shit, they're just as guilty. All of them, folks, guilty of trying to kill us. Now get this, folks, talking about killing us. The Pentagon chief, whoever the fuck that is, the Pentagon chief has urged his Russian counterpart, that is the chief of the Kremlin, the head of Russian military dominance. He's contacted him and said, we need to keep the lines of communication open. He calls him on the phone. Imagine this guy sitting at his desk. He's like, yeah, you know, da, right? He's got his little cup of tea and he's drinking his Russian tea and his phone lights up. When he looks and the caller ID says Washington, D.C., Pentagon, chief dipshit in charge. And he's like, hey, look at that. And so he reaches down and he picks up the phone and he's like, hello? Oh, it's the Pentagon. You want me to keep the lines of communication open? It's incredible. The United States government knows no bounds. First off, they want to assassinate Putin. They want regime change, which means destabilizing the Russian economy, destabilizing Russian currency, destabilizing Russian lives, destabilizing Russian military, Russian nuclear weapons, destabilizing and destroying that. Regime change. They want to assassinate Putin. They want to destroy all of Russia. But hey, let's talk. Let's keep the lines of communication open while we try and fuck you over and sanction the shit out of you and steal your property and lie about you to the world and pretend like we, the Pentagon here, are without fault. We've never made a mistake. We're the good guys. It's not that I believe that all of the United States government is bad, folks, but show me a piece of the United States government that gives a fuck about you. Show me. Give me just one, right? Give me one example of the government doing something for me, for you, for America, for the people. One example. And I know there's plenty, folks. Like They're making sure that our carbon goes down by making sure there's no oil for us to burn in our cars or our heaters or our power generation stations, you know. Yeah, they're doing us a big favor there by taking away our beef, our chicken, our pork. That way we can all eat bugs. If I want to eat bugs and benefit from bug protein, I'll eat chicken. Thank you very much. Chickens eat bugs. I eat chickens. There's a batting order here. I don't eat bugs. I can't process bugs. Bugs have some kind of bug toxin in them. I mean, there's a reason that if and when you swallow a bug, you basically want to puke. Anyways, these fucking people, the temerity, the fucking hubris of the Pentagon. Hello, Russia? Yeah. This is the Pentagon. I know Russia. Okay, slow down, man. Let me explain. Yeah, we said we want to assassinate Putin. I know. I know that we've been sanctioning your country. I know. I understand. Yes, I know. I was there. I hit the button. I watched it. I know about the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines being. I know. Look, I accept, but we need to keep the lines of communication open. Really, we need to keep talking. Bomb the fuck out of them. Do it again. Russia. Yeah, hang on, buddy. Hang on there, buddy. Yeah, it's cool. We're not bombing you. We're gonna bomb someone else. It's cool. But yeah, we need to keep the lines of communication open. Let's keep talking. Have you got this pegged yet? Send a smart missile through the fucking window and hit him. Yeah, it's cool. No, not you, man. I was talking about my cousin. Yeah, he's a Republican. So, yeah, we don't like those here very much. Okay, so let's keep the lines of communication open. You know what I'm saying to you is? Well, we need to talk. You know, in fact, why don't you have a picnic or, do a barbecue and send me an invitation with the time and the GPS coordinates. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Send me the GPS coordinates for a party, and we'll make sure we send over some vodka for you. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go with that. Yeah, keep the lines of communication open. Good job. Okay. And yeah, it's great talking to you, General. Great talking to you. Where's Putin at right now? Yeah, we want to send him flowers. We're really sorry about that whole let's assassinate you thing. Seriously, man. I mean, we had to say that stuff to make us sound tough to the world, you know. We don't really want to kill all of you, just most of you. I'm just kidding. You know, Americans, we're silly that way. Yeah. General, hello? He hung up on me. Anyways, folks, these fucking people. Unbelievable. What do you want to talk about? Let's go with it now. Jolene, who is up next? And it's Uman. And he says, how can you put a guy as brain dead as Festerman? He looks like a psychotic, twisted, muscle-bound, weird-looking, freaky Uncle Fester. How can you put a guy as brain dead as Festerman in that kind of important position before he hopefully gets better? Call me ableist. Call me ableist, but I won't let a blind guy drive a school bus either. I'm not going to call you anything, Uman. I certainly won't call you late to dinner. I tell you what, yeah. Let's elect a guy to the United States Senate. One of 100 men in charge of the United States Senate. Let's elect him and then hopefully he gets over his stroke and his brain starts working. You have to pass the legislation before you can read it. Hello, Nancy. Yes, is this Congressperson Pelosi? Yes. Nancy, how did that go again? You have to sign the legislation and then the people can read it and find out what they're now obligated to do. Okay, I got it. Thank you. And you're in your office. I'm going to send you some fucking flowers and chocolate, you bitch. All right, the whole phone thing, I love it. Jolene, who do we have up next? And it's Doc Holliday, the king of capitalization. And he says, we must stop all red flag laws. Communists have taken over D.C. We must fight. Now, here's the killer part, Doc. Those red flag laws are passed in individual states. We have a serious problem in this country. Now, the good news is that the United States Constitution is duplicated by every single state. Duplicated. The Bill of Rights from the U.S. Constitution is duplicated in every single state. And I'm not necessarily talking about the Second Amendment. I'm talking about your rights as an individual to be protected from self-incrimination, right? Warrantless searches and seizures and arrests. And you're supposed to have, folks, the right to face your accusers in the court of law. Right? It's called due process. Every fucking single step along the way, must be followed. You know, in order for me or you to get a driver's license, you have to have a birth certificate. You have to, right, go to the DMV. You have to fill out paperwork. You have to their satisfaction, prove to them who you are and that you are of lawful age to drive a car. And then you have to take a fucking test. And then you have to take a driving test. And then you have to pay money, right? All of these steps in order for you to get a mere driver's license. The government, in order to arrest you, take your stuff, it has to have evidence. That evidence has to be collected without violating your rights. Then they have to take that evidence, right, and have a sworn affidavit that they're not lying, making shit up, exaggerating. Sworn affidavit says they're not lying, making shit up, right, that the evidence is real. Hello, Mar-a-Lago, FBI, hello, right? And then a judge has to say, yeah, I approve. And then a policeman has to execute the arrest or search warrant, get the evidence specifically that they're looking for, and then they have to go to a prosecutor and say, this is all the stuff we have. Is it sufficient to prosecute that person? Right? There's steps they have to follow. Red flag law? Hi, my name is Milford Smith, and I'm a dork. And Mom, can I have some more petite marshmallows in my cocoa? Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So my neighbor's a Republican. I saw that he had a DeSantis bumper sticker and a Trump sign in his yard. And he's one of those Republicans, those dangerous right-wing extremist, white supremacist, Nazi fascist. Yeah. And I saw him waving a gun in the air yesterday and threatening to hurt people. Can you do something about that before someone gets hurt? Yeah, I really don't feel safe knowing that there's Republicans in my neighborhood. Unfucking believable. And the cops take that information and they can go take your guns. Red flag law. Where's the due process? Where is the crime? Where's the evidence that a crime is about to be committed? Like a conspiracy. Well, you know, if you invite Milford into your group, your bank robber group, and he's like, oh man, I'm hearing about all these bank robberies that are being planned. And last week there were a bunch of bank robberies, so maybe I should go to the police because now I have evidence of a crime. Evidence of a crime. Someone can call up and make up a bunch of shit. They can lie. Red flag law. I heard that he's been threatening people. He threatened me. Oh my God. It's a he said, she said, without any evidence or proof. And they can take your guns. It's not just about guns, folks. It's about due process. The 4th and 5th Amendments, the 7th Amendment, the 8th Amendment, the fucking 10th Amendment, the 1st Amendment. I have a right to say whatever the fuck I want as long as it does not directly hurt someone. As in, I'm not lying about somebody and hurting their reputation, right? Those are libel and slander laws, whether you say them or write them, right? To say Dr. Fauci is an asshole, that is not a slander. It is a fact. The guy's a little asshole. I can say that, folks. I can say that. I mean, will you do me a favor and listen to this?
With COVID, I mean, the things that we thought we knew in the beginning turned out as the months went by to not be the case, which really forced us to adapt and to change some of our policies and recommendations. That was interpreted by many as flip-flopping or not really knowing what's going on, when it really was the evolution of the science.
Fuck you, Dr. Fauci.
That's right. We're not flip-flopping and changing our mind. The guy's an asshole. He's a liar. Fuck you, Dr. Fauci. When a national news anchor can say, fuck you, Dr. Fauci, live on the air. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, red flag laws, definitely, Doc Holliday. They need to be done away with. There is nothing constitutional about any of that. There's no clear... I mean, the FBI investigates people for months and months. They know that these kids have been making threats. They know that these idiots are dangerous, and they do absolutely nothing about them, and then they go off and start mass murder. Oh, by the way, they're left-wing lunatics. But it's supposed to be okay to call the police on someone that you don't like because you know they're a Republican, and the police can show up and take your guns? I don't think so. I just don't think so. It's a violation of many, many rights, and rights, folks, come from God, not from government. Rights come from God, God-given rights. Your money says, in God we trust. The government, any government that is immoral is an evil government. You need a moral government, and morality comes from a fundamental spiritual book of rules, right? There's got to be some morals out there. And if we're going to have morals anywhere, shouldn't it be in government? Unfucking believable what these people are coming up with. Seriously, folks. I mean, you want to talk about immoral. We've been talking about this Boston college biolab that created a variant of the cerveza bug. They created it. They took the 1%, I'm not worse than any other flu cerveza bug, and they made it 80 times worse. 80% mortality rate on mice, right? Now get this, folks. Some scientists have come out and said cerveza bug was made in a laboratory. And without someone being held accountable, our day of reckoning, even more deadly pandemics are in our future. Now, there's a fact here, right? Even more dangerous viral genetic engineering experiments are underway. They tried saying that cerveza bug was weaponized. The only difference between cerveza bug and other colds that the thing that I noticed was some people lost their sense of smell and taste. That's really the only difference between it and any other flu. So yeah, it seems like it was kind of genetically jacked around with, right? But now they've created a deadly strain, folks. And it's interesting. It's actually scary as fuck. The most shocking thing about this, I thought the 80% was shocking. But what's even more shocking is that Boston University were conducting these experiments and making these genetic changes to a virus in a level 3 protocol facility. Folks, in order to safely contain dangerous diseases, viruses, you need a level 4 facility. They were conducting this incredibly dangerous experimentation, which I believe is a violation of American law as well as international law. What the fuck were they thinking? But they're doing it in a level 3 facility, which has a exponential factor that is incredibly high for increasing the risk of a human getting it and then transmitting it outside that facility. Now, once again, let's look at evil. Evil likes to destroy. Good creates, evil destroys. Good produces more good. Evil produces and begets more evil. The people in charge of this planet are incredibly evil, folks. They have risked all our lives by releasing cerveza bug and then the Jim Jones juice. They've risked us all, and they're willing to do it again, folks, for their financial gain, for their political power, and, folks, now that they've been caught, they may reduce, they may, how do I put this? They may release this shit on us, folks, to cover their asses and punish us for catching them. Right? Now, if they say, hey, you're not going to come after us, well, we'll release this shit. That is pandemic extortion. And fuck you, Dr. Fauci, for lying about it all along the way. He's lied about his gain of function or weaponized virus research. He's lied about it all along. Folks, if they're doing it in Boston U, they're doing it in Wuhan. They're doing it all over the place. What, 26, 27? How many freaking biolabs in Ukraine alone was the United States funding? And who was the director? And what were they researching? Unbelievable. I tell you. Hey, guess what? It's time to play. Let's take a wild guess. Oh, sponsored by the Jim Jones juice. People are just dying to take it. Yeah, take a wild fucking guess on this one, folks. Caught on camera. An Indian that is in India. A gym trainer that is someone who is in great shape. Muscular, physical, cardio shape. An Indian trainer was sitting in a chair. Kind of like I'm sitting in a chair here in Studio B. He's just sitting in the chair and he fucking dies of a heart attack. Ugh. I saw the footage. I saw the video. They showed it. I mean, did the guy die or was he taken to a hospital and he lived later? I don't know. I saw a guy in his chair and he just fucking died. And the news reports that he died suddenly. You and I get to take a guess what killed him. Take a wild guess. I wonder. That's right, folks. All right, Jolene, who do we have up next as we close out this Free for All Friday? It is the Friday, and it's Uman. And he makes a great observation, a great statement here. He says it's getting harder and harder to be satirical when reality is absolutely batshit crazy off the hook. That's why I had to use the phone today. I had to use the phone, man. I had to do it. I had to go with the phone conversations. Fucking batshit crazy. Hey, Fauci. Yeah. Look, we just built a lab over here, and yeah. Well, we've got some scientists. Yeah, I know. You're not really proud of our scientists here. At least they can add. They know 2 and 2 is 4. Unlike your American students that think 2 and 2 is whatever they feel like. Yeah. So we have some scientists, and what we need is we need some money from the United States government, from the National Institutes of Health. Yeah, we need that so we can fund this thing. So why don't you do this? Why don't you send over a couple $100 million, and we'll start working on some stuff. You just tell us what you want and we'll do it. We'll do anything. We don't care. We got what you need, man. You want level 2, level 3, level 4? We got it all. Yeah. We're willing to certify that. Hell, I'll talk to my engineer and he'll certify that who makes that? Who made that Phil? Who made that filter for the lab? Okay, yeah. He said it's we got it down at Lowe's, man. We picked that filter up down at Lowe's. I don't know, General Electric. It's some kind of a filter, but we got a filter on the lab. Everyone will be safe. Just send us some money, okay? It's cool. We'll make you proud. Okay. Thanks, Anthony. I mean, Dr. Fauci. Thank you, man. Be cool, man. And by the way, you got to have a tiny dick, dude. Bam. Okay. Yeah, batshit off the hook, fucking crazy. And so that's satire. I can do satire. I can do smartass. But it is just loaded with facts and truth about these fucking jackasses. Okay. Thank you, Jolene. She's like, moving along, John. David says, I don't go out too much, but I took my sister to run errands earlier in the week. Two places we went didn't take cash, did not accept cash. Coffee shop only took cards or Apple Pay, Venmo, etc. And her laundromat has their own app. Is this common? It is becoming more common. That is the problem. Now, cash money is legal tender, and it must be accepted for all debts, private and public. Now, here's the deal. If you go to, let's say, a pizza place like Chuck E. Cheese, go to Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza, and you can't play games with quarters. Well, I think they do take quarters, but you have to take your money and exchange it for tokens, and then you can use their tokens. So when I was younger, Chuck E. Cheese, you put in $1, you get 4 tokens. They're Chuck E. quarters. They're the equivalent of a quarter. But they're not good anywhere else on the planet. They're only good at Chuck E. Cheese. They want to turn your money, your legal tender, into tokens so that they can say, we don't accept the tokens from John because he's a loudmouth asshole. In fact, several times this week, I'm up to 3 people now just go, dude, we just call you the Viking. Right? What do Vikings do? Well, the Vikings hundreds of years ago, they just went wherever they felt like going, and they just basically kicked the shit out of people that needed to have their asses kicked, I guess. I know, that's glamorizing Vikings. They're pissing off the world, folks. These rich people think that they can force you to use tokens and then tell you what you can and can't buy, where you can and can't go, and whose services you can and can't use. They're trying to privatize a public money system. Well, if that's the case, then why don't we privatize a coin, a token, if you will, that is for patriots? Let's hear it. Let's have it. I want some freedom coins. Oh, wait, it's called silver. Right? Silver. Silver coin. This one just happens to be the Marine Corps 1 ounce silver. We need to use real money. You want to hold up, a cute, fake token? Yeah, that's cute. It's made out of pot metal. It's artistic. It has no real fucking value beyond that. It's something that's real, something that's rare, something that's valuable. Money. They turned gold and silver illegal. They issued paper and called it money. And now they're saying you're going to exchange your money for a token, and then all of a sudden you can't spend it or use it unless they give you permission. Unbelievable. Okay, Jolene, where are we at in this world, this crazy worldwide thing? We got Uman. He says, big news popped this afternoon that the Joke 6 committee has subpoenaed Trump. Thank you, Uman. I hadn't got to it yet. And then this idea came up. I just thought about this. Why would the January 6th committee want to bring President Trump, subpoena him, demand that he come to Congress and explain himself? Well, some people, thank you, Jolene, some people would say they're doing that for show. It is all theater. And there's a good chance that it's all theater. This could also be interpreted as the powerful are fighting amongst themselves to see who gets to control and take the prize, right? Control the world. Is it going to be Trump's side or is it going to be the deep state side? Other people would say, well, this is good for Trump because he gets to go there and lampoon and make fun of and fuck with the committee. Democrats believe that if they get Trump in Washington, they can make him admit to his crimes, his faults, his sins. They'll prove it, I'm telling you. The January 6th committee has been going for 2 fucking years. Almost 2 years. And they've gotten jack shit done. In fact, they've gotten exposed for lying, cheating, stealing. Basically doing everything the government's not supposed to do while investigating someone. All they've basically done is proven that there was a coup d'etat against Trump, and that for the 4 years of his presidency, he was, stonewalled, blackballed, right? Screwed with, dicked with, and interfered with on a national and international level. That's essentially what they proved. Some people are afraid that if Trump goes to Washington, D.C., no matter what he says, he's going to be arrested. They're going to say something like, we're the January 6th committee, and we think that you committed insurrection. And look at this film, right? And then they're going to show some really piss-poor edited sound clips, audio clips, sound bites of Trump, and then say, see, he committed a crime right there, and then arrest him and throw him in the January 6th gulag with everyone else that's being held in an unconstitutional manner. Is this going to be an effort to arrest Trump? What would America think? What would the patriot groups think? What would the militias think? What would the Oath Keepers think? What would law enforcement think? What will the military think? What will you think if they arrest Trump? A lot of people are afraid. Don't go there. Don't do it, right? It's like watching a bad movie on TV. You're like throwing, popcorn at the TV. Don't do it. They're stupid. I can't believe you're doing that shit. Folks, we're getting a lot of that in this SHTF. A lot of me and you and many people looking at it going, I can't believe this is happening. Don't do that. Are you that stupid? And the answer is yes. Yes, they are that stupid. So if they're that stupid and things are getting that bad and they're going to continue to get much worse, wouldn't you agree with me when I say chance favors the prepared mind? Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. Go to thepreparedmind.club. Get what you need. All those things. Come up with a plan, folks. Understand. Watch this show, and you will hear the facts. You'll understand why, what, where, how, when, and who we need to be wary of, and you can incorporate that into your plan. Understanding the world around you, you're in the middle of it. You're in the middle of that place. How are you going to get through SHTF if it gets nasty? When it gets nasty, because folks, it's nasty stupid. I think Uman's observation there was pretty good. It's hard to be satirical because everything that I talk about is actually true. Unfucking believable. One more thing I want to let everyone know. YouTube is hiding all the information on me they can, on you, on us, on the Prepared Mind Network, on other Patriot networks. They push and promote people that aren't necessarily doing any good for anyone. And they hold down a lot of us out here and keep us hidden because we're bad people to them. They think of us as evil, folks, because we oppose communism. We oppose authoritarianism. We oppose totalitarianism. But just looking at the statistics they have, this show has people watch. An hour-long show, the average view that I saw on the last one was sitting at something like 48 minutes. 48 out of about 60 to 65 minutes, that's a long time for the average viewer. That means some people tune it on and turn it right off. Some people turn it on, watch half of it, turn it off. But a vast majority of people watch this video from the beginning to the end every single fucking time. What does that tell you? Thousands of people want this information. It's your information. I want to thank you for bringing it to my attention. Chance favors the prepared mind. Aren't you glad you are a prepper? Godspeed, Semper Fi, and I'll see you on Sunday Night Live right here. Be there or be square.